So do we have sound?
We'll see.
I think we do. I think I just turned one mic off. I just don't know what mic it is.
Okay. Mine, hopefully. Are we on?
You recording? Just in case. Cool. Thank you. Whenever you are ready.
All right, we're on live. All right, this meeting of Mayor and City Council of Frostburg, Maryland is called to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Remain standing for just a moment, please.
We are thankful for this special community, for the time we share together, and the bounty of our nation. We are thankful for the commitment of our people who volunteer their time and talents to make our community a better place to live, work, and raise a family. We know that we alone cannot meet the challenges or provide sufficient inspiration without community involvement and the dedication of all concerned to the greater good of the city and all who reside in it. We are thankful for the beauty, the time, and the place that is Frostburg. Amen.
Amen. All right, you may be seated. Thank you. All right. Item 4, Mr. O'Brien will have the roll.
Mayor Loves,
Present.
Commissioner Carter. Here. Commissioner Grove.
Here.
Commissioner Forsyth.
Here.
Commissioner Rich. Here.
All right. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda. Second.
Duly moved and seconded to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting. Any further discussion on council on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Agenda is approved. Item 6A, we will hear the minutes from the November meeting, November 19th meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. Second.
Duly moved and seconded to approve the minutes from November. Any further discussion among council on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. November council meeting minutes are approved. This is item 6B, minutes from the December 9th closed work session last week.
I move we approve the minutes from the December 9th closed work session meeting.
Second.
Duly moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the closed work session of December 9th. Any further discussion on council on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Minutes of the closed session of December 9th are also approved. Moving on now to a special presentation, I'll call on Mrs. Armstrong.
Is Benito here?
He is?
Yes.
Ray Poncha.
Right in the corner.
Back here in the corner.
You can stay where you are and we'll embarrass you in just a little while. Good evening, everyone. To celebrate our community's bicentennial in 2012, the City of Frostburg created the 2012 Fund. The remainder of the 2012 fund was invested by the Foundation for Frostburg, and a portion of the interest every year goes to annually to an individual or a group that has upheld the Foundation's mission of enhancing the quality of life for the citizens of Frostburg and our surrounding community. This fund will continue to grow and serve as a startup fund for Frostburg's 250th birthday celebration, which would be in the year 2062. In addition to a cash stipend, a unique piece of artwork is presented to the recipient of the Spirit of Frostburg Award winner. The background incorporates the poster that was designed for our 2012 bicentennial celebration. It was designed by Susan Dodge of Frostburg State University, and on the poster is our bicentennial poem, which was commissioned by our 2012 committee, and it was composed by local poet Nina Forsyth, who currently serves as a city commissioner. Award winners each year are selected by our mayor and city council. Previous winners of this award include, in 2013, Winnie Davis, the Frostburg Area Ambulance Service, Chuck Dickin, WFWM, Jack DeShong, the Frostburg Lamppost Committee. In 2014, the House and Garden Club of Frostburg and the American Legion Faraday Post 24. In 2015, Elizabeth Eshelman from the Frostburg Museum and Dr. William Bigman and Dr. Barbara Ornstein from Frostburg State University Children's Literature Center. In 2016, Mr. Patrick O'Brien, who at the time was our Director of Civic Engagement at Frostburg State University. Wave, Patrick. The Classy Chassis Car Club and the Frostburg Elks Lodge 470 were winners in 2017. In 2018, retired hometown heroes Sergeant George D. Kroll, Lieutenant Kevin G. Grove, and Chief Royce C. Dowdy for 120 years of combined service to the Frostburg Police Department. Wave, Kevin. In 2019, the Frostburg Area Interfaith Food Pantry and the stipend treated the directors and designated volunteers to a special dinner. In 2020, Mr. Bob Stevenson, the retired principal of Bellarminville Elementary School, was our award winner. In 2021, Mr. John Kirby, Jr., Frostburg City Administrator retired, who served the city from September 14th of 2004 to June 30th of 2019. In 2022, Dr. Kara Rogers Thomas, Professor, Frostburg State University Department of Sociology, and the coordinator of the Frostburg State University Appalachian Festival, was our winner. In 2023, our local elementary school students Carson Negley, who at the time aged 7, and leukemia patient Harper Strunch, who was age 9 at the time. She was a priority patient for a heart transplant. In 2024, the Foundation for Frostburg awarded the Coal Miner Memorial Statue Fund as the award winner. After 12 years of planning, Miners Park was opened and dedicated in the fall of 2024. That brings us to 2025. The mayor and council selected Mr. Benito Reyes as our community champion. Everyone knows Benito, and no wonder. His restaurant business, Mario's Italian Eatery on East Main Street, has been a staple in our community for over 15 years. Mario's is known for great food and fair prices. Benito has sponsored numerous local youth baseball, soccer, and football teams. When Frostburg State University or Mountain Ridge High School has an ask, the answer is always yes. To donations, to spirit nights, to pizzas. When our city police and our utility workers walk in, they are treated as royalty. During our recent flooding events, meals were made available to those in need, and this seems to be Benito's specialty. He steps up for Thanksgiving and Christmas meals, for lunches for kids during COVID. Benito provides translation services when needed for both the city and the surrounding community. Here's the bottom line. He chose us to be his hometown. How fortunate we are that you did so. Benito believes that nurturing our community betters his own life, the lives of his family, his friends, and his neighbors. For this reason, he is a true community champion and the 2025 recipient of the Spirit of Frostburg Award. Congratulations, Benito, from the City of Frostburg, from the Foundation for Frostburg, and from your hometown of Frostburg.
Oh, please, yes. Here, we'll go around front.
Yeah. Come stand here with me. Bet. Let's you hold that. We'll stick this behind. This is really good. I'll stick this in your pocket. Don't lose this because there's something really good in there. Just for you.
How about we're gonna take one step back?
A little closer.
Everybody this
Center
way.
everybody a little bit.
Okay.
Are we good?
Ready, 1, 2, 3. Excellent, thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Would you like to say anything? You don't have to. Would you like to say anything?
Yes.
You don't have to.
I just want to say thanks to everybody, and thanks to the town of Frostburg who treat me like the family. Everybody here welcomed me when I came in here, and everybody has been treating me very good for the last 26 years I've been on this town. I called Frostburg home. And I don't want to move from here. This is the house I chose to be. And I thank God and the Virgin Mary for bringing me to this town. All the people in this town is very nice. Everybody, from the police to the kids and everybody. And I just say thanks. The one thing I can say is I do what I do because many people helped me in this town before when I had nothing. And this town made me who I am. First God and the Virgin Mary in this town. For this, thanks to everybody. Thank you.
I know I certainly speak for all of us at this table when I say how grateful we are to you, Benito, for everything that you do in this town, and for, like you said, like as Barb said, for all of the school groups, the kids groups, the sports, churches. Anytime anyone comes to you with anything, it's not even a question that you're there to help, and this is certainly the least that we could do to recognize everything that you've done for us for 26 years and counting. You're not going anywhere. So thank you for everything that you've done. I'm proud to call you my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barb. That was very nice. All right, we'll move on then to item 8 on the agenda, which is reports of the city departments. We'll call on Mr. Miller first for community development.
Thank you, Benito. It's always fun when we come in a restaurant. Community development through November. Real quick rundown of things. We had 5 permit applications, 2 for renovation conversion, 1 for permit accessory structure, and 1 commercial UNO for a new business at 166 Bowery. November for code enforcement, 6 cases were initiated, 6 cases were issued warnings. Rental housing by the housing inspector, 85 inspections was completed, 8 were re-inspections. So Jay and Eric are moving along pretty good on that, getting a pretty good handle on it. Comprehensive plan rewrite, Commissioner Forsythe was in on a meeting with us on December 5th. The consultant provided us with a housing element of the plan back in November, which I apologize I wasn't quite involved in. And this month they presented us community facilities, economic development, tourism chapters of the plan. We had a few snags we addressed with them throughout the plan, but I think everything's moving forward pretty good.
Yeah, there's a good participation from
Yes.
different sectors of the community, and they bring their particular knowledge of that sector to the plan, so it's really helpful.
Yes, it was very informative with the group that's working on it. They was doing very good. From what I've seen, everybody had some good input. So anything else on that I'm thinking about?
Oh, no, it's going to continue for a while now, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Looking forward to the next meeting with them. Grant closeout. With Commissioner Forsythe, we met with the green team. We're going to working on closing out the grant tomorrow for the structure, the education structure at the Edible Arboretum. The grant was for $10,000. We managed to get all the stuff to complete the structure for 44 cents over budget. So thanks to
We
Parks
can
and Rec.
swallow that part.
Yeah, thanks to Parks and Rec, we sat down and come up with a plan and stayed within budget to get that done. We'll have some other things later on, but right now we're moving forward to spring.
Very good. If you could talk a little bit, I know we talked upstairs, but we had originally planned on introducing an ordinance tonight that was pushed to next month about the smoke alarms. If you could just talk a little bit about the progress on that.
Patrick met with Michael Cohen today, cleaning up the language as we discussed in the work session. Hopefully have something out by next work session and have it ready to present at the next meeting. Everything should be in accordance with what we discussed. Hopefully by then, once we have that, 80% of our failing inspections will be moved to passed once we clean up that language.
Okay.
So we're moving along on that pretty good. Hopefully we'll have that done by next
We'll
work session.
have a draft for the work session
Yes.
for us to go over since there was so much conversation about it.
Got it.
Yeah, and so we push that till next time to get it cleaned up.
Got
So,
it. Good idea.
anything else for community development?
think that's it.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. And again, thank you. I was telling a funny story about the Nickelback concert, but
All right, Mrs. Phillips, we'll have Finance Department.
Goodness. Good evening. There's not much to report on in finance. As I mentioned last time, we are continuing to work on the financial audit for the year ended June 30th, 2025. I'd say we're nearly there. I spoke with our auditor today. They were actually here last week. We went ahead and filed an extension. Original due date was October 31st. We filed a 2-month extension to get us to the end of the calendar year, but the holidays coming up and not quite being where we want to be, we went ahead and filed an extension to January 31st, which was accepted by the state today. So we are good to go.
Are the auditors gonna come back then? 'Cause
I need to check with them. The gentleman I talked with today was on the road, so I didn't actually get to, there's a lot of phone tag. So I would assume they will be back one more time because they were only here one day last week.
yeah,
But I will keep you apprised of what they decide to do. In that same vein, you will notice the reports still say that the year-end adjustments haven't been completed yet. So hopefully next month that will go away. As you know, we issued real estate tax bills in early July. As of the end of November, we've collected approximately 77% of the billings. The final payment for owner-occupied properties is due December 31st, so we expect that number to continue to rise. Other than that, we're continuing to encourage people to sign up for e-billing and automatic payments, and you can do that at our website or just stop and see us. That's all I have, unless anyone has any questions.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right,
Appreciate it.
easy. Thank you very much. And Merry Christmas to all.
Merry Christmas to everybody. Mr. Lindsay, Public Works and everything else.
All right, I'll take over the Public Works realm. We'll start with Parks and Recreation. In the Parks and Rec world, the biggest thing at this time was the Storybook Holiday, which usually hits with a resounding yes. I think it went very well again this year. And then, of course, prepping for indoor things, basketball, taking care of the armory, things like that. In the water realm, this time of year always turns to finding the weak spots in the armor, so to speak. Whenever it gets this cold for this long, inevitably things freeze and break. It usually takes about a month. We find everything, go over it, fix it, and go from there. In the street department and sanitation realm of Public Works, it's typically snow plowing and salting for the next 4 months, so that's what we're into heavy now. Of course, we've plowed about 4 times at this point. We've been salting pretty much on again, off again every day for the past 2 weeks. We are always welcome to feedback in that regard because sometimes we don't know what we don't know. In regards to where is getting too much salt, where isn't getting enough, where sometimes we get new drivers every year and who are learning the routes. So if you have feedback, we are always welcome to it. Don't be afraid to call the Public Works Department. In the engineering sphere, we are prepping for some bid openings or bid advertisements, sorry, my apologies, for the roundabout project near FSU off of Braddock Road. We are prepping for some paperwork and bonding work for our 2 big CSO projects near Mountain Ridge. That's mostly with the state of Maryland at the moment, going through the paperwork with them. And then, of course, we are looking into our City of Frostburg Water Resiliency Project, which we're reporting on and presenting at the January PACE conference down in Annapolis. To get some things ready for that so that we can implement them this coming summer. If anyone has questions about that, I'm happy to elaborate. Other than that, it is pretty much business as usual in the Public Works realm, which is kind of all business with everything tangible. If there's any questions, I'm happy to elaborate.
Did you say that they have started drilling up there?
No, we're set up, we're ready to go. No drilling yet. But it'll happen. If it doesn't happen this week, it'll happen Monday, Tuesday next week. So, yeah, still on track.
crossing my fingers that.
Yep.
How's the new concession stand over at Sowers?
Good. It's done. Other than some, we're waiting for it to get a little bit warmer to do the epoxy floor because we don't want to put that down cold.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks, sir.
Cool. Thank you.
And last one is Chief Costello for the Police Department.
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. Good evening.
For the month of November 2025, we had 552 incidents logged, and pretty similar to the year before in November when we had 437 incidents logged. As always, we had a variety of activities, 11 arrests of various sorts, 2 cases forwarded or handled by C3I, 6 logged community policing activities, 15 well-being checks, 16 assist other agency incidents, 16 requests for a police officer, 11 specific documented follow-ups, 37 disturbances of various sorts. Those can be domestic disturbances, disorderly conduct, neighbor disputes, a variety of things are kind of captured in that line. 4 motor vehicle crashes, 3 DUI arrests, and 68 traffic stops. So fairly common types of policing and enforcement business. Kind of hate to say business as usual because policing can be very varied and unpredictable, but I'd say it's fairly common types of activities that we saw for November. On the positive community-based things, which we always put a lot of emphasis on, we finished up our No Shave November fundraisers. So actually the University Police, we partnered with them. They're coming over this evening to pick up our collections, and we'll have a full tally between what we had at Mario's collected, at the Princess, through Venmo, through FSU and our departments. We look forward to that. And obviously we had the tree lighting. Many of us were there a few weeks ago. I wanted to comment, we were there for the police department, but this was the first year the organizers got a state highway permit to close Main Street. And we had a new dynamic with clearing out parking. We had to put out cones because of the meter decorations, which is a good thing, and that worked very well. So I would just comment and say I think that worked very well. It felt a lot safer, it felt a lot smoother, it kind of made it a little more comfortable even at the event, so I would recommend we continue that in the future.
Yeah, I thought it worked well.
Oh, excellent, Commissioner. Yeah, I felt the same way. Excellent. Of course, Storybook Holiday was another resounding success, and it's our premier event is Cocoa with the Popo, Commissioner Grove's idea. Always got to give the credit. But we have a lot of folks in the police station work hard. We had some community volunteers. We had elves from FSU over here. We had family members, and we had police officers that worked all day long to make it work. We had hundreds of people through the police station, so great community event. Very successful again, very positive. Just Saturday, we had Shop with a Cop, so 3 of us participated in that, 3 police officers. Very nice event. And just a few business things. We have interviews coming up Friday for police dispatcher applicants. And hopefully soon after, we'll schedule some for some police officer applicants. We're waiting for the online registration to open for the Sykesville Academy, but as soon as we have that date confirmed at registration, we'll know when to streamline our process. And lastly, I just want to say congratulations to Benito. Benito's always been a wonderful friend, huge supporter of law enforcement, police officers, and first responders, supporter of Shop with a Cop, and just a number of great things. So I want to thank you, Benito, and congratulate you on your award. I couldn't think of anyone more deserving. Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. That would conclude my report. Certainly always glad to answer questions or elaborate further.
One quick question.
Yes, sir.
In the last 2 months, in October and November at this meeting, I came to you with a complaint from a citizen. It was
Yes.
2 citizens, and then 1 followed up last month.
Yes.
With some vandalism claims or
Yes.
concerns about signs
Yes.
on Main Street and anything. Have you learned any more about that? Have you
Yes.
had any further complaints?
No, sadly not. And these were essentially people are putting stickers on like state highway property, city property. Some of them were kind of, like proposing to kill law enforcement officers, specifically federal law enforcement officers. So obviously not stuff we want to see in our city, but no, I've not received any tips, any leads, any complaints. The nice thing is we have a good camera system downtown, so if one person could give us a lead or a tip and say, hey, we think this is happening at this time, we could look on those cameras, but absent any real time frame or leads or tips, it's hard to follow up.
Sure.
And, certainly there's, we might want to even consult Mr. Cohen once we get deeper, because some things we wouldn't want to address content unless it's unprotected speech, but it's kind of a unique situation, but factually we don't have any leads to go on anyway, so.
Got it.
The new officers are working out well?
Yes, very well. Michaela Thomas has been the newest police officer. She has done a fantastic job, and Colton Lucas completed his field training earlier in the year. He's been absolutely great, very proactive and successful with DUI arrests, and he was with us for Shop with a Cop Saturday. So we're doing good. If we can keep finding folks like we've hired in the last few cycles, we'll be in great shape.
Got it.
All right.
Thank you, Chief.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Commissioners.
That is all of the department reports. I would entertain a motion to accept.
I move.
Motion to accept the report to the city departments.
Second.
Duly moved and seconded to accept the monthly reports of the various city departments. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Department reports are accepted. Commissioner Ritchie, this is your favorite thing.
Yes. So we have our garbage and special collections for 2026. We're gonna do Christmas tree curbside pickup on Monday, January 5th and Monday, January 12th, 2026. Our regular garbage collection, the dates for holidays, New Year's Day, Thursday, January 1st. The garbage will be picked up on January 2nd. Veterans Day, November 11th. It'll be picked up on Friday, November 13th. And Thanksgiving, November 26th, will be picked up on Monday, November 30th. Christmas Eve, December 24th, will be picked up on Monday, December 28th. Yard waste collection, second Monday of each month, beginning on April 13th through September 14th, and then Monday, October 5th, and Monday, October 19th, Monday, November 2nd, and Monday, November 16th. Residents are reminded yard waste will be set out on the curbside in either biodegradable paper, yard waste bags, or reusable cans. Our annual bulk pickup will be on Tuesday, May 19th, Wednesday, May 20th, and Thursday, May 21st. That's the weekend before Memorial Day, and all normal collections, will be on the same day. The bulk pickup is only for city residents and garbage customers. The street department will not pick up appliances with Freon-based refrigerants, tires, batteries, television, or computer monitors with picture tubes. Still got a lot of them around. Paint with other chemicals or hazardous materials. Collections are subject to weather. If we get any snow or anything, we move as soon as we can to go out. All approved requirements apply for each type of waste. Special pickups can be arranged for a prepaid fee. Let's see. Anyone needs any more information, they can call City Hall, 301-689-6000, or Street Department, 301-689-6111.
Thank you, Commissioner.
There is going to be also the Buy Nothing event this year, so we tried to schedule it before the bulk pickup. Because of the way things are happening, it's probably going to be earlier this year, so maybe a month before bulk pickup or so. But still, start setting stuff aside that you want to get rid of, because almost everything is acceptable in the Buy Nothing, and people find all kinds of treasures. So, just get ready for that. There will be announcements as it comes closer.
Thank you, Commissioners. Moving on then to item 9 on the agenda, this is the required monthly CSO hearing. Mr. Lindsay.
Before I do that, I meant to say this earlier, but a quick anecdote about Benito. So
Take your time, please.
well, not necessarily an anecdote, but I guess it's an endorsement. When I was 18, my first exposure to public works work was with the Allegheny County bridge crew building the bridge that's above the Frostburg Pool. And we went to Mario's every single day for lunch. And I can remember thinking to myself, man, this isn't so bad. I think I could keep doing this forever. And here I am 10 years later, still doing the same thing. And then one about Benito, too, is whenever we have water leaks and the water gets cloudy or murky or muddy, I probably get 100 calls during those days, and people are ready to bite my head off. And you have every reason to be one of those people, and you never are. So that's just the kind of person you are. So thank you. But and so CSO work. The Phase 10A is completely wrapped up. We went through our walkthrough with the state of Maryland. Phase 10B and 10C are, like we talked about earlier, in the final paperwork stages with the state of Maryland, getting those final approvals and permitting there. We do hope to start those on track in the spring. We will do kind of a cutting loose of funds here in the next month, and then we'll start those projects in earnest in the spring. We do anticipate those taking approximately 2 years. And again, this is the public hearing, the monthly public hearing for that, so I do want to specify that both of those projects, 10B and 10C, Washington, McCullough, Cemetery, Nancy Grasmick, and parts of Green Street will see new sidewalks. The sidewalks have always been there, they are just mostly buried. So I like to be clear about the fact that sidewalks will be added to those streets. Just putting that out there, like I want to do every month. We are always prepping for the next round of CSO phases. We will not present on any pace this year, but we are looking into the next phases of it in approximately 2 years. If there are any questions, I'm happy to go into them. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, nothing under old business, so we'll move on then to new business. This is item 11A, first reading of ordinance 2026-01. Mr. O'Brien.
John's gonna take it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
All right, bear with me, this is a long one. Ordinance 2025-06.
26.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, you got it the wrong, okay. 2026-01. That's what's on my paper. An ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of Frostburg entitled an ordinance to amend the city's zoning ordinance by adding the artisan small-scale manufacturing land use as permitted use in all residential districts and changing the classification of that use from a special exception use to permitted use in all commercial districts. Whereas the city of Frostburg is a municipal corporation of the state of Maryland organized and operating under a charter adopted in accordance with the laws of the state of Maryland. Whereas Article 5, Sections 501 and 502 of the charter empower the city of Frostburg to regulate matters of zoning within the city. Whereas the city of Frostburg zoning ordinance is set forth in Appendix A of the Frostburg Code. Whereas artisan small-scale manufacturing uses are defined and described in Section 8.2 of the zoning ordinance. Whereas presently, artisan small-scale manufacturing uses are not permitted in residential zoning districts, and they are special exception uses in commercial zoning districts. You give me the wrong one. Whereas to promote economic development opportunities, the Department of Community Development proposed amending the zoning ordinance to allow such uses as special exception uses in all residential districts and as permitted uses in all commercial districts. Whereas the Frostburg Planning Commission reviewed the proposed amendments at its November 12, 2025 public meeting and voted to recommend that the mayor and council adopt them. Whereas a public hearing on this ordinance was held on the,
It will be held.
held in January 2026 during the city's regular monthly meeting. And whereas the mayor and city council reviewed the planning commission's recommendations and have considered the testimony at the public hearing, if any, adopt them as set forth hereinafter. Now therefore, Section 1, be it ordained by the mayor and city council of Frostburg that Part 3 of Appendix A of the city code, the primary district regulations, is amended by adding subsections 3.1.C8, 3.2.C.17, 3.3.C.17, 3.4.C.17, 3.5.C.18, 3.6.C.9, 3.7.B.22, 3.8.B.37, 3.9.B.33, and 3.10.B.12. To its terms, each of which shall state artisan small-scale manufacturing in accordance with Section 8.2. Section 2, be it further ordained that Sections 3.7.C.11, 3.8.C.12, 3.9.C.16, and 3.10.C.9 of Appendix A of the City Code are deleted in their entirety. Section 3, be it further ordained that the first use regulation table for residential uses at the beginning of Part 3 of the zoning ordinance is amended to include a new row for artisan small-scale manufacturing uses at the end of the table to provide as follows. Section 4, be it ordained that the mayor and city council of Frostburg at this ordinance shall take effect 20 days from the date of its passage. This will be the first reading.
Okay. Just to clarify, the regular mayor and council meeting will be Tuesday, January the 20th, barring any kind of event, or any snow emergency or any kind of event. So we'll have to make sure that date gets put in there, because that'll be.
Yeah, and
public
we'll,
input.
once we have it.
Okay. All right,
I would entertain a motion to table.
yeah, we'll need a motion and second to pass it on first reading.
I move we approve ordinance 2026-01.
Second?
Duly moved and seconded to approve ordinance 2026-01 on first reading and to set January 20th, 2026 as the date for the required public hearing. Is there any further discussion among council on that?
Just to clarify, it's like small artisan things like home bakery, crafting type things, woodworking, and the existing code will bar things that would like be noxious, like noxious fumes or anything dangerous or excessively noisy. So,
Things that would create excessive amounts of traffic in residential areas.
so kind of like home businesses that, would not disrupt, the life of a residential area.
And these are things that I think some people already are doing in their homes anyway. We're just hoping that to clarify the language to make it legal, and then it will encourage more people to consider doing so. All right, anything further among council on that? Any public comment on this on first reading? We'll vote again on this next month also. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ordinance 2026-01 is approved on first reading, and January 20th, 2026 will be the new, will be the public hearing date. All right, moving on then to Resolution 25-59. This is also Mr. Miller.
Resolution 2025-59, resolution of the City of Frostburg Municipal Corporation of the State of Maryland approving the reappointment of a member of the Frostburg Board of Zoning Appeals. Now therefore be it resolved that the Mayor and City Council of Frostburg, Maryland hereby approve the reappointment of Julia Williams to the Frostburg Zoning Appeals for a 3-year term beginning December 16, 2025 and expiring December 16, 2028. She was recommended by Jamie Klink, who is the planner.
And she's been on the board.
She's been on the board for the last term and agreed to do another 3-year term, and Jamie said she does a really good job on that, attends all the meetings, and need a motion to approve this resolution.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2025-59.
Second.
Duly moved and seconded to approve Resolution 2025-59 to appoint Julia Williams to the Board of Zoning Appeals. Any further discussion among council on that? Comment or discussion among members of the public? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Resolution 2025-59 is approved. One more, Mr. Miller, Resolution 2025-60.
Resolution 2025-60 is requesting approval for the application of the Evergreen Associates Commercial Tax Credit. The Evergreen Associates application for rehabilitation of a commercial structure tax credit in the amount not to exceed, you got that up there? $346,918.33. It is to begin on July 1st after the project is completed and the use and occupancy permit has been issued. It will not be started until that's done.
Got it.
Could be any time after July 1st, but it will not, the tax credit will not take effect until the project is completed and the use and occupancy permit has been issued. We did an adjustment on the engineer architect line of a percentage of the total. I think Patrick's got it broke down there.
And this is specifically for what property again?
It's the Hill Street School.
Right.
So when we discussed this at work session, we noticed that the planning and architectural cost was for the whole cost of the building, so we used the percentage based off of what they were, what line items they were asking for.
Yeah.
So
So
the
you
original
adjusted that.
request was 411, and the approval amount would be 346,918.33.
Any further questions? Need a motion to approve resolution 2025-60.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2025-60.
Second.
Duly moved and seconded to approve Resolution 2025-60. Any further comment or discussion among council on that? And just to clarify, the 411,000, that's the assessed value of the building? Of the,
No,
sorry, I said that wrong. Yeah,
That was the construction
the
cost,
construction cost, right, okay.
and that's why we took the percentage
And this is over a 10-year period.
over a 10-year period, correct? And again, that will not start till it's got a UNO, so, from that date.
And it's over 10 years and not to exceed the amount of taxes that we would charge, so that will
Right.
probably, you'll never reach that amount. most likely.
Got it. Anything further among council? Any comment or discussion among members of the public on this? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Resolution 2025-60 is approved. Thank you. Next is Resolution 2025-61.
So, in 2019, 2020, the city acquired and raised the 8 properties on Center Street to encourage development. In April, we engaged with Allegheny Group to have them begin to look into developing that area. They originally had a 120-day period to do so. That 120 days has passed, and they've asked for an extension because they're continuing to look into it. They're still interested. They've asked for a total of a 12-month extension. So this resolution 2025-61 authorizes the mayor to sign a letter of intent from Allegheny Group to extend their current LOI another 12 months to do that development and look into due diligence and stuff.
Do you know what the hangup was?
I think it's just taking them a little bit longer for some things.
My understanding is they've secured a portion of the funding they needed, but not all of it. They're trying to get more.
They were looking at some issues with on-site parking that was needed.
Oh, right,
and
yeah.
working with some other groups on that. So I think it's just taking them a little bit more time than they were expecting. They're still interested. They're still moving forward. So
Cross your fingers.
Yeah.
yeah, be nice to see it happen. Yeah. If there's no other questions, I'd look for a motion to approve 2025-61.
I move we approve Resolution 2025-61.
Second.
Duly moved and seconded to approve Resolution 2025-61. Further comment or discussion among council on that? Comment or discussion among members of the public on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Resolution 2025-61 is approved. Next is Resolution 2025-62.
Yeah, a little bit of background on 2025-62 and 2025-63. Approximately 2 years ago, the city of Frostburg was awarded 2 funding packages for our next CSO projects, Phase 10B and Phase 10C. We were awarded those by MDE. Each one has a portion of loan and loan forgiveness and a portion of grant. In order, based on our procurement and our policies, to accept that money, we have to formally accept it at a council meeting. So that's what these are. If anyone has any questions, I'm happy to talk about them afterward. But it's going to be a little bit of technical reading. So, Resolution 2025-62, a resolution of the City of Frostburg, a municipal corporation of the State of Maryland, authorizing the City of Frostburg to apply for, accept, sign, and execute grant and loan agreements for the CSO Elimination Project Phase 10B, whereas the City of Frostburg has undertaken a 20-year, over $25 million commitment to eliminate combined sewer overflows (CSOs), and whereas the City has contracted with Specs Incorporated for Phase 10B engineering and have estimated the total cost to be approximately $5 million, and whereas the Maryland Department of the Environment has developed and offered a funding package to support Phase 10B that includes $1,798,000 in OSG grant funds and a maximum of $3 million in SRF loan and loan forgiveness. Now therefore be it resolved that the Mayor and City Council of Frostburg, Maryland, authorize the mayor and or the city administrator to apply, accept, sign, and execute all agreements and documents related to the grant, loan, and loan forgiveness funding sources for Phase 10B, adopted this 16th day of December 2025. So I would ask for a resolution, or a motion and a second on Resolution 2025-62, unless there's any questions now.
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-62. I'll second.
Duly moved and seconded to approve Resolution 2025-62. Any further comment or discussion among council on that? Comment or discussion among members of the public? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Resolution 2025-62 is approved. 63.
All right, copy and paste. Resolution 2025-63, a resolution of the City of Frostburg, a municipal corporation of the State of Maryland, to authorizing the City of Frostburg to apply for, accept, sign, and execute grant and loan agreements for the CSO Elimination Project Phase 10C. Whereas the City of Frostburg has undertaken a 20-year, over $25 million commitment to eliminate combined sewer overflows, CSOs, and whereas the city has contracted with Specs Incorporated for Phase 10C engineering and have estimated the total cost to be approximately $3,750,000, and whereas the Maryland Department of the Environment has developed and offered a funding package to support Phase 10C that includes $558,660 in supplemental assistance grant funds and a maximum of $3 million in SRF loan and loan forgiveness. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Mayor and City Council of Frostburg, Maryland, authorize the Mayor and/or the City Administrator to apply, accept, sign, and execute all agreements and documents related to the grant, loan, and loan forgiveness funding sources for Phase 10C, adopted this 16th day of December, 2025. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them. If not, I would ask for a motion and a second on Resolution 2025-63.
Take a breath, would you?
Make a motion to approve resolution 2025-63.
Second.
Duly moved and seconded to approve Resolution 2025-63. As discussed a minute ago, any further discussion among council?
I move we commend Hayden for his speed reading.
Yes. All right. Any further comment or discussion among the public on that? Again, these are two CSO things that are just required by state law. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Resolution 2025-63 is approved. Next, we've got Resolution 64. This one is Mr. O'Brien.
So as you're aware, we had gone into a 5-year contract with Borden Mining for a land lease agreement for parking for Cougar football. So we are 2 years into that agreement. Hayden and his crew have found an option on city property that they can develop to replace that parking. So save us some money. Borden Mining Company is fine with us ending that agreement early. So this is just a resolution allowing us to get out of that agreement starting January 1st of 2026. So this would therefore be resolved, the Mayor and City Council of Frostburg, Maryland, authorize the early termination of the land lease agreement with Borden Mining Company effective January 1st, 2026. Any questions about that?
I move we approve Resolution 2025-64.
Second.
Duly moved and seconded to approve Resolution 2025-64. Any comment or discussion among council on that? Just to clarify, so while we're taking away the Borden law, your guys are going to extend other parking options, so it'll be essentially the same. Not quite as much, but essentially the same.
Correct.
Parking in other areas that are already on property. And
Where
does-
the bulk of that's going to be?
The bulk of it will be actually in the area behind the scoreboard. We just have to do some drainage work in there beforehand. The reason we've never parked there before is just because it lies too wet. But once that drainage work is done and we do some kind of gravel grading, it will be sufficient parking.
Are we on the hook for anything else with Borden before we terminate the lease?
The only thing we are on the hook for is that we did agree to put a gate right at the entrance of their field. That was kind of a concession of theirs. It said, if we're going to let you out of the last 2 years of this agreement, can you do us a gate so no one goes up in there, assuming that the parking is still open? And we agreed to that.
Makes sense, yeah.
Anything further among council on that? Comment or discussion among members of the public? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Resolution 2025-64 is approved. One more, Mr. O'Brien.
So this is another just standard thing, mainly because oftentimes when it comes to grants and some of the loans we get and things like that, they like to know about appointments and when things are finalized. So this is actually an appointment about me. So this is a resolution of the City of Frostburg confirming the appointment of the City Administrator upon successful completion of the probationary period, 6 months as of today. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Other than that, this is just to confirm that I've completed the probationary period and the appointment status.
Well done. I move we approve Resolution 2025-65.
Second.
Duly moved and seconded to approve Resolution 2025-65. Any comment or discussion among members of the council?
Just make sure you put your name
I
in
was just
the
gonna
third
say.
whereas.
I was just going to say. So,
Thank you, Patrick. You've done a fantastic job.
yeah, very, very happy to have you on.
Yep. Yeah, you've done a great job.
So the question is to approve Resolution 2025-65 as amended with the third whereas
Yeah.
clause.
Name in there.
Any further comment or discussion among council on that? Comment or discussion among members of the public on this? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Resolution 2025-65 is approved as amended. And that is it under new business. So we'll move on to item 12 now, which is open public comment. This is an invitation for Frostburg citizens or anyone to come forward and talk to your city's government about anything that you need. Ms. Mears.
Hi folks, for the record, Kelly Mears. I live at 58 Linden Street, Frostburg, Maryland. Just wanted to start by acknowledging it's definitely winter, definitely cold, and I appreciate both the comprehensive updates, but also all of the salt that's been down, keeping our roads safe. I know that's hard, but in addition to that, also having a lot of fun festivities, keeping a dreary December from feeling too dreary. I also wanted to start with another applause, appreciating the email communication systems that have gone out. I've seen some big enhancements, and I'm grateful to see active communication, especially when water is out. So having a moment where you actually know and have that heads up that the team's working on has been great. I do want to know a little bit about kind of what's going on with the water systems and kind of have some restoration of faith, because I saw a lot around Thanksgiving around, oh, we've got some planned work happening, and then maybe some not so planned work that came about from that. So I have a lot of faith in the reports that you give, but I just have a lot of questions about what's going on there. I also wanted to ask about the food pantry. I'm excited to see progress there, but curious if there's any additional opportunities for things like a dog walking station, waste station, benches, tables, to continue to make that space just thoughtful and attentive for kind of a walkable Frostburg. I do drive that beat pretty frequently, and definitely concerned about making sure that as any increased traffic happens there, we're just thinking about walkers, people with their dogs, people who have kids right around that area. I have another, hopefully fairly softball, easy question, and then my biggest one. My softball is around the plans to open more storefronts, kind of keep those storefronts open in Main Street. Grateful to see the French restaurant kind of no longer a giant eyesore and into the street, but just really sad seeing so many empty storefronts. And obviously saw some investment in some, so grateful for that. But the really big one that I want to talk about is the ordinance that you mentioned will be ready for next meeting, so I'm glad that you brought that up. I hope it's okay to make some comments on that as you prepare to put that into ordinance.
Sure.
The discussion I witnessed last Tuesday was really enlightening. I had similar questions and kind of stopped in that space right where you did around the section 3. Before I begin with the question there, I just want to ask you all a question, if that's okay. How many of you are currently renting for your primary residence? Anyone? Anyone rented in the past 5 years? Just helpful to know. My second question there is city code clarifications. These are really about clarifying and making the law more easily executable, right? Holding accountability, making the law clear and understandable so that we can keep safe practices for our residents. Do you agree?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So section 3 reads as labeled, adjoining rental units in a rental property shall not be furnished with approved fire and smoke separation assemblies, shall be required to interconnect smoke detectors between units. Sorry, I should read section 2 first. Section 1 is awesome. The proposed changes in there are great. Section 2, I agree, same. All smoke detectors within a rental unit must be interconnected so the detectors within the unit sound if any are activated. So straightforward. Section 3, adjoining rental units in a rental property not furnished with approved fire and smoke separation assemblies shall be required to interconnect smoke detectors between units. And the 3 options to propose change of language: 1, delete that language, and then adding another stipulation that clarifies really well kind of modern technology. Super. So option 3, deletion of requirement, was something you guys didn't really entertain too much. You were like, nope, doesn't seem too interesting. Option 1 and 2 are very, very similar in language, and so it sounded like there was a bit more deliberation there. And I also struggled with the 2 language pieces there. So I actually did some color coding to understand the differences. And really what I found to be the difference are a couple key pieces of language. So as you go forward and pursue what you want to put into that recommendation, I would recommend you just ask what the purpose of removing the language not furnished with approved fire and smoke separation assemblies is from the original policy, because it's the only thing I didn't see there. And I understand it maybe to mean clarifying, but I also want to make sure that it's not losing anything. And that was genuinely a question. There was a lot of unknowing in kind of what that does to say, do we capture that somewhere else? The second piece here is, what is the benefit of adding the stipulation that has been converted from a single-family home to? That language, to me, does not do anything to simplify the policy. It simply adds additional language that can be used as a loophole or a possible space where we can interpret the law or the policy as not meeting a need to put in a safety requirement where a safety requirement is there. The third bit is changing or broadening the language from adjoining rental units to all units potentially, and that's in option 1. Option 2, which you had said you are interested in pursuing, continues to keep that adjoining rental units language rather than opting into the all units. So in that discussion, I just did hear a lot about the concern about cost, which is a very real and valuable concern. But I also want to just remind the council of its responsibility to keep the community members safe. This is a safety issue at its first and foremost, and I understand the annoyance of tenants who might remove smoke detectors. I've been there. I worked in residential services, like in college. I get it. But a community member died in a house fire just this month, and so I find it really offensive to have a conversation that is more about the dollars of landlords and property owners without having any comparable conversation about the safety requirements there. That's all I got for you today.
Well, they're definitely, I think you were there for the conversation about converting a single-family home, because those are the ones that are most likely to not have firewalls. And maybe what the language we should put in there is firewalls, rental units without firewalls, because that's the primary safety issue when the fire alarms or the smoke detectors are not interconnected. So.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I thought the second stipulation actually did that really well for clarifying all rental units overall. The third provision there adds additional clarifications, which I think is smart, but I think it adds language that doesn't need to be there, and speaks to the requirement in a way that says there are situations that we find that can be excluded from this. When there's no real logical reason why not, because we have the technology to create safe units for.
And it's easier now.
You said yourself in the work sessions that it was about cost, which is why this doesn't get enforced. But that's no longer a barrier to entry. It's no longer thousands of dollars to repair a wall.
It's definitely a lot
It's
cheaper.
$100 to add a different smoke card. So just want to consider that in the conversation as you're having it.
I'll say, I agree with you with what you're saying, that the cost was something that was mentioned. I don't think it was the only factor that was mentioned, but it was mentioned as something that one of, a dozen or so factors that we're gonna have to look into. And I just lost my train of thought. I'll get back to it in a second. As far as the fire that you mentioned, obviously it was a tragic thing, and it's not to downplay it at all. I don't think that the report that came from the fire marshal's office and the firemen that were on scene, everybody, I don't think that smoke detectors of working or non-working order were the primary cause of that fire or the fatality that happened in it. I think that it was a matter of a person who was physically disabled who wasn't able to get outside in time. Not that that makes any difference at all, but I don't think that fire alarms played a significant factor in that fire. But your point's well taken. It is something that obviously safety is our number one priority that we need to look at. If I could go back and talked about the dog stations at the food pantry. Months ago, when we were here and we talked about this, we mentioned that it's really hard to put things on private property. We mentioned things on Linden Street or College Avenue or whatever, but since this is city property now, it would be a lot easier for us to look into that. So certainly that's something we can look at.
Well, I can actually tell you the dog station for the pantry property is in my office right now.
So
That's in Fife. The last time we talked about this, and this was about 3 months ago, the Wednesday morning I got into my office, it was sitting outside waiting for me. So as soon as they get the groundwork done and everything, to a point we can put it up and not worry about knocking it over.
And I think because we weren't ready to have this discussion and have it on paper, that's why we kicked it to next month. We'd rather, wait and get it right than, half-ass it and have to fix it in 6 months, so.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Well, thank you, and thank you for letting me sandwich that with some levity on both sides.
Sure, thank you. Anything else? Anyone from the public interested in speaking at all? Okay, hearing none. Before we move to adjourn, Commissioner Carter, anything you have?
Congratulations.
Commissioner Forsythe?
Wish everybody a safe and happy and healthy holiday and Happy New Year.
Absolutely. Commissioner Grove?
Everybody be safe, and over the holidays, watch our alcohol
Consumption.
use a driver, a designated driver when you can if you're going to be out.
Absolutely. Commissioner Ritchie?
Benito, thank you, appreciate you. Yep.
Just a couple quick things. Just a reminder that City Hall will be closed on December 24 and 25 for Christmas, and will also be closed on January 1st for New Year's Day. Thanks to all of our city staff. We have 55 city employees that all do a great job. We said the other night at the Christmas party, and I say all the time, I'd put you guys up against any town in America, so thank you for doing that. For everything that you do. One last thing, congratulations to Commissioner Ritchie, who became a grandfather last week. So, very good. Anything else before we adjourn? Time is 6:30, meeting is adjourned. Thank you all. Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you for coming out. We do this every month if you're interested.